You know, some stories, they don't just entertain you, they kind of serve as a warning. This is one of those stories. It all starts with a simple, universal truth, and a single crack in a friendship that's about to bring the whole thing crashing down.
Everyone feels fear. Just let that sink in for a second. That simple line, it just hangs in the air, doesn't it? It's like a premonition of the terror that's coming. And it's the spark for a story about a friendship that curdles into something, well, something truly monstrous.
So what does happen? What happens when you let one moment of pure anger take over and unleash something you absolutely cannot control? We're about to find out. We're going to trace the path from a pretty petty argument to a full-on bargain with a darkness that, trust me, demands a terrible price.
It all started, as these things so often do, with something really small. A joke, a flash of pride, and then words. Words that could never, ever be taken back.
Okay, so let's meet our two main characters, Rohit and Jatin. They were in the same friend group, but really, they were from two different worlds. You've got Rohit, the rich kid, kind of arrogant, careless with his words, you know the type. And then there's Jatin, who was a bit more sensitive, proud, and was always very aware of the differences between them. It's a classic recipe for friction, right?
So the flashpoint, the moment it all goes wrong, happens in the college parking lot. Rohit, just trying to be the funny guy, makes this crude joke about Jatin not being interested in girls. Jatin, of course, is deeply offended and pushes back. But Rohit, feeling like he's being challenged in front of all their friends, he decides to double down and just escalate the whole thing. And this was the final blow. Right there, in front of everyone, Rohit spits out these words. "Stay in your lane, you beggar." He went right for the throat, bringing up Jatin's financial situation, just twisting that knife of public humiliation. That single sentence, man, that lit a fire in Jatin's heart, a slow-burning rage that was about to consume them both. Shame and anger, they are a really dangerous cocktail. And Jatin, alone in his room, just replaying that horrible scene over and over, he became the perfect target for a very unusual offer. So, as Jatin is just sitting there seething, his phone buzzes. It's an unknown number. And what it contained, it wasn't a scam, it wasn't some prank from a friend, it was an invitation, a doorway to a dark path he never, ever knew existed. I mean, can you imagine getting this text? The offer was just shockingly direct. It's a devil's bargain delivered right to your phone. It promised power, right? A way for Jatin to get his pride back by inflicting pain in return. And at first, of course, he just brushes it off. It's a sick joke, right? But then, it got so much worse. Someone had filmed the argument, and they posted it online. So now his humiliation wasn't just a memory for a few friends, it was a public spectacle for anyone to see. And that was it. That was the final push. Totally blinded by rage, Jatin picks up his phone, finds a photo of Rohit, and he sends it to that unknown number. The deal was made. Now, Jatin might have thought he was just, venting, letting off some steam, but the consequences were immediate, and they were terrifying. That digital curse started to bleed right into the physical world. The effect was just chillingly fast. First, financial ruin suddenly strikes Rohit's family out of nowhere. Then, Jatin gets a video, proof that the curse is working. It's Rohit, all alone, completely tormented, literally tearing out his own hair. And then, the real horror began for Rohit. He started seeing this presence, a dark figure with white eyes, always there, just at the edge of his vision. And then came the next set of instructions. This wasn't just digital anymore. Oh no, Jatin now had to become an active participant. He had to perform this chilling, very specific ritual himself. And it came with this stark warning. Once you start down this path, there is no turning back. So Jatin performed the ritual, and now he was trapped. He was in it. The curse just accelerated, hurling both of these boys towards a horrifying climax on a dark, windy rooftop. Rohit is led up to the roof by his house servant, Birju, but something's wrong. Birju's voice sounds unnatural, deep and strained. But once they're up there, Birju just vanishes. The door slams shut, and now Rohit is totally alone, trapped with nothing but a single flickering candle and this growing, horrible sense that he is being watched. At that exact moment, on Jatin's phone, a live feed of the terrified Rohit just pops up. But the horror isn't just on his screen. No, the shadow entity,
It actually manifests in Jatin's own room, grabs him, and delivers this horrifying ultimatum. A soul is going to be taken tonight, and the choice is his.
This just shows you how completely Jatin has lost all control. I mean, he started this whole game to feel powerful, right? To take back control. But now he's just a terrified pawn in a game run by some force he can't even comprehend. He is utterly, completely powerless.
Back on the rooftop, the shadow rushes towards Rohit. Consumed by a terror he just can't bear anymore, Rohit leaps from the edge. And as his body hits the ground, Jatin gets one final message on his phone. A single word. Finished.
But here's the thing. The game wasn't finished. Not really. Not by a long shot. The price for revenge had been paid in blood, sure, but the debt was far from settled. The true horror was only just beginning for the one who started it all.
So the police close the case. It's a suicide. Rohit's family is completely destroyed. And Jatin, the architect of this whole disaster, he just collapses into himself. He's a shell, haunted by that live video of his friend's final, terrifying moments, trapped in this silent prison of guilt and fear.
And then his phone lights up one more time. It's the same unknown number. The message is chillingly clear. This was not a one-time transaction. This was a contract. Jatin wasn't a customer. He was now an employee. The entity, it wants another name.
So as this demand for a new victim just hangs in the air, Jatin feels a presence behind him. He turns, probably expecting to see that shadow figure, but it's not the shadow. It's Rohit, or what's left of him. His face is blue, his neck is at this impossible angle, and he's there to enforce the contract. The victim has become the debt collector.
And that leaves us with this deeply unsettling question, doesn't it? Jatin wanted to destroy Rohit for one moment of humiliation. But in the end, he only destroyed himself, becoming eternally bound to the very horror he unleashed. It's a chilling reminder that the fire of revenge, it always burns the one who lights it.